pushing you're on.
Good day, Westminster. I've got hot chocolate in here because it's so damn cold. Hi, Carol. Hi, Boyd. Hi, Cassie.
And save some hot chocolate for me, please.
Okay.
Hi, Cassie. Hello, Ken and Carol. You know, it is cold.
It is. We've been out in it over the weekend, and it's just really miserably cold. Miserably.
They say that the last time it got this cold was in 1989, and that was the year that I retired and we moved to Lakeway. And we were driving up from Houston and we opened the garage door and all this water ran out of the garage because a pipe had burst above the garage and it froze on the driveway. And so Kitty got out and ran in the house. And I got out of the car, and by the time I got out of the car, the water had frozen over. And so I slipped down and I fell down. And Kitty comes running out and she falls down and falls on my leg and breaks my ankle.
Oh my God.
And then just to make it worse, I was screaming. She said, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" She managed to get up by the car and she slipped down. And just to be sure my ankle was really well broken, she fell down and hit it a second time. So,
that wasn't on Valentine's Day, was it?
It wasn't, but it was there in February, I do believe, in 1989. And so we're staying indoors this year.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah. Well, our special guest this morning is Cassie. And Cassie, will you tell us exactly what position you have and what you do there?
Absolutely. So hi, everyone. My name is Cassie Haley. I am the community administrator at the Arbor at Westminster. So I am the department director over the health center, and I oversee all different types of operations. So no two days are the same. Every day is a surprise, but I see everything from staffing to overseeing the budget, finances, you name it, I oversee it. So I've been here approximately a year and a half now. And I actually trained under Chuck Borst, executive director, about 5 years ago to become an administrator. And I moved to Connecticut to run my own health center for about 3 years. And then I was very fortunate to interview and come back to Westminster about a year and a half ago into the position that I have now.
Great.
Wow. And does that include the food?
It does. So we do have a food and beverage department, but of course, if there are concerns, they come to me and I address them. So there are directors and managers within the health center that help me do my job because I can't run the health center by myself, but I do oversee everything. So if there's an issue, it falls on to me to fix.
So the health care includes memory care, right?
We do have a memory support in the health center, yes.
Right.
Well, I bet you never thought when you started here that in a few months you'd be hit with a pandemic to take care of, but that's probably dominated your whole term so far, hasn't it?
It has. So I got here in July of 2019, and by January, end of December, we started hearing about the pandemic, and then it hit in March, and that's when everything changed. And that has been the focus of everyone in the health center, to keep COVID out of the building as much as possible and to keep everybody safe. So my duties do surround the policies and procedures of COVID-19 and keeping everyone as safe and healthy as possible.
Well, tell us a little bit about where you came from and a little bit about your early career before you went into healthcare.
Absolutely. So I was born and raised in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I then went to college in Michigan at Alma College, where I earned a degree in psychology with a focus in gerontology. And I also earned a degree in dance. So I do have a background in classical ballet. And then after I got my degree in psychology, I did an internship with Life Care Services, who manages this building. I did a 3-month internship with them and realized I truly loved this environment and was able to then get a position in their PDP program, which stands for Professional Development Program. And they train you to be administrators and executive directors within their community. And that's where I trained under Chuck Borst to become an administrator, and then was very fortunate to come back here. And I'm also earning my master's degree in healthcare administration currently through Texas Tech.
I bet there are very few healthcare directors who can plie.
I would agree with you. Yes.
You know, this off the subject, we watched Jeopardy, and yesterday that was one of the questions. What is that kind of a movement in ballet? And they guessed everything but plie, but we shouted it out. We knew that was
Plie, yes. One of the fundamentals.
That's right. I know that one question that everybody is wondering about, now that we've had our 2 vaccine shots, can we be carriers or not? Or does it mean, I know it means that 5 out of 100 could still get it, but it would be probably a lighter case. But what does that mean about us carrying it around without even knowing about it?
Right. So the goal of the vaccine is to reduce transmissibility. That is the whole hope, that the vaccine will do 2 things. It will help reduce transmissibility of COVID-19 and also protect you from getting COVID-19. And if you do get COVID-19, to mitigate the risk of severe illness. There are no long-term studies right now on the transmissibility because we have just received the vaccine. But the goal is that it does reduce transmissibility. But because we don't know exactly those numbers, we still do have to be cautious and wear masks and social distance until we know that we are not carriers if we come into contact with COVID, because we do know there's still a chance to get COVID-19 even after we've received the vaccine. So our medical director that oversees our health center as well has said the same thing. It does help prevent transmissibility and helps prevent you from getting COVID and helps prevent you from becoming seriously ill, but there's still a chance for all 3.
So what has your experience been in the vaccinations in the health center? What percentage of the residents and associates have received both shots?
So we've had wonderful turnout with residents. The majority, just like in independent living, over 98% have received the vaccine. And then associates Westminster wide, we have approximately 76% that have received the vaccine.
Thus far, yeah.
Thus far.
That's
So
really
very good
good.
numbers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's amazing seeing as how the associates go in and out of the campus every day. So it's been great that they've been able to meet that challenge.
Yes, they have been very cautious. We have done lots of training on being cautious, what to do, staying out of large crowds. And they really have taken that to heart and very seriously to keep all residents safe, but it's their co-workers as well.
Well, you must test the associates frequently then, right?
We do. So we test them twice a week. They get tested so that we can catch if anybody has COVID-19 fairly or early, so that we can catch it before they spread it, because we have seen somebody test negative on a Tuesday and then test positive on a Thursday. So we test twice a week so we catch it early, and that has really helped us from keeping COVID out of the health center as much as possible. And we haven't seen such a huge outbreak that have other communities have seen because of our testing policies and procedures.
Well, it's nice to see that statewide and even nationwide, apparently the number of COVID cases are going down.
They are. So I checked Travis County percentages on positivity rates, and that's what we go off of. We are trending down. We're still at about 10% positivity. We were at 15 around the holidays, so we've trended down since then. So we are seeing a trend downward, yes.
We'll see if there's a Super Bowl spike. Huh?
Yes, we will see. We'll see if that happens.
And so we're now in phase 4.
In Travis County, they have pulled back from stage 5 to stage 4, yes.
So that allows a little bit more, it allows a little bit more, not freedom, but at least ability to, for restaurants, I think, can increase their
Yes.
percent of capacity a bit now.
Yes, doesn't
So
change anything for us, but it does change it for some outside folks, yes.
Yeah. So, well,
Cassie?
I think we should all be very proud and thankful to you and your team for keeping us so safe during this period.
Thank
you. I appreciate that.
I'm kind of curious. You said your first degree was psychology with an interest in gerontology. That's older people, right?
Yes.
How did you happen to have that interest?
So my family story, I am adopted, and my mother and father were 26 years apart in age. So my father passed away, but he would be over 93 today if he were alive. So I was always around elderly individuals. I cared for my father. I was a caregiver for him. And my grandmother, my mom's mom, lived with us as well, and still does. She's still alive, and she still lives with my mother, her daughter, excuse me. So I've always had a passion for caring for older folks, and so I think it stemmed from that. So my 2 options were to go into nursing home administration, or I could get my PhD in neuroscience. And so I worked in both fields. My thesis in college was helping to stop the progression of Parkinson's disease. So that's what I did my college thesis on, but I also had internships within nursing facilities, and I chose that route instead. I did get into the University of Mizzou into their PhD neuroscience program, but I chose this instead.
Well, we're glad you did.
Speaking of that, and I know you have memory section.
Mm-hmm.
What is the latest on the progress of coping with Alzheimer's? Are they making any progress, or is there still a long ways to go?
As far as like training programs?
No, I'm talking about the cure or a prevention.
Oh, so they are still a long ways away. They do still, make discoveries, but I think we're a long ways away from a cure, yes.
So do you follow the work that's being done with Parkinson's now?
I have not so much kept up with it now as I was back then.
Mm-hmm. I have a niece who's in a trial program in Missouri or Oklahoma or someplace for treatment of Parkinson's. So she's
and I was interested in that because my father had Parkinson's disease,
really?
So it all stemmed, from that.
Well, how did the dance work into all of this neuroscience?
So I have been dancing since I was 9 years old, and it helped actually pay my way through college. I got several scholarships for my classical ballet. So that really helped with me being able to go to a smaller school with more support. So it worked in that way. But in addition, in several of the internships and nursing facilities, communities that I worked in, I was able to create dance programs. Oh. So I worked it into memory care programs. So I was able to do it with residents with memory deficits, but I've also been able to teach it in independent living and assisted living in other communities.
Can we expect some dance programs from you here?
We can certainly try. Well, last time I was here 5 years ago, I did step in and do some dance classes, but I wasn't running the health center at the time. So
you had a little more time.
I did.
Yeah. Before we moved in here, we were with a singing group of about 14 people called the Getting Better All the Time Singers, which a local comedian said was terribly misnamed, but we kept it anyway. And one of the things that we found, we came to Westminster several times and did programs for the residents here. I started to say inmates, but for the residents here. And we found that a lot of them who normally were pretty docile kind of came to life when they got around music, and they even mouthed the words, and some of them stood up and sang, some of them danced. Music seemed to be a more lasting quality of their life than perhaps conversation.
Yeah, so long-term memory goes last. It's your short-term memory that starts to go first. So when you're listening to music and you're reminiscing and you're listening to songs that you did when you were younger, that really does trigger those memories. And it makes people perk up and remember things and sing and dance. And it's amazing to see what people can do when they hear songs that they remember.
You have some programs in our memory unit that use the person's favorite music, don't you?
Yes, music and memory. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And is that music generally pretty similar? I mean, from the same, like 60 years ago, say, or something, or?
Yes, we'll use the genre that the resident has grown up with. So we'll get information from the families sometimes about their favorite music or singer or band or what have you, and then we'll load that music for them to listen to. Yes.
Right. You know, I just want to interject a little funny thing here. I used to play in a lot of nursing homes too, just do around regularly. And they would bring in, most of the people in the room would be in wheelchairs and apparently not cognizant of anything, but I'd see their foot tap or something like that. And I would generally go around and you know, take their hand and visit with every one of them. And this one lady, I got up to her and she looked up and she said, the music was just fabulous. And so I opened my mouth to say, oh, thank you. And she said, were you here the whole time? And I thought it was hard to be humble. But I'll never forget that, because it was, you know, she was cognizant of the music and everything, but she didn't know who had been doing it.
One time we were doing a show at another retirement home, and it was the section where I think it was assisted living, and I got off on the wrong floor. I dropped off a lot of the singers and then gone to park, and I got off on the wrong floor, and I was looking at the room numbers, and this very nice, I guess, associate came up and said, sir, may I help you find your room?
And we haven't heard from you since.
When that started happening more often, then we decided, okay, maybe we better get in and out of here pretty fast and not hang around. Or
we
signed up for Westminster, said, hey, if they think we need a room, maybe we better sign up somewhere.
Maybe we better have one.
Yeah. There's an Ann Richards story that you all probably know, that she was campaigning. This is a governor of Texas, Cassie, and she was a big campaigner. And the story was that she was campaigning and she went to a nursing home, and she was going down, and this woman was sitting there, and she shook her hand and she said to the patient, she said, honey, do you know who I am? And the woman said, no, dear, I don't think I do. But if you go up to the desk there's somebody that can tell you.
Yeah, you have to be careful when you're visiting an old folks'
So Cassie,
right.
are you excited about the new building and how that's going to affect the healthcare, the health center?
I am, yes. It is going to hopefully open up some new opportunities for us here in the health center with the new state-of-the-art rehab gym. We're very excited for that as well. Yes.
And there'll be some changes in the location and some more and additional space for memory unit, I believe.
Yes,
and
yes. So in the
moving over
new
into the other building.
Carlisle building, that will move. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, we're all looking forward to the new gym. I don't know why I'm looking forward to it. I don't go to the gym, but I should. So maybe I will when we get the new one.
I think there's a lot of people that use those, however.
Yeah, there is. But it'll be
Now,
nice to have a room where we have the classes. We'll be able to for resident classes. There'll be room enough to have a space that we use all the time. Yeah.
Just to get back to ballet a minute, when you have a class of that, and I am just look at all of us, and I think, what can you possibly be doing that any of us could do? I hate to say at our age, but at our age.
Well, we have a ballet class here.
So
Don't we?
What did they do?
yes.
I think we have.
So we do, in my classes, I had 2 separate classes. So I did have a standing class and I did have a ballet bar. And we just do certain types of movements. We don't do all of the movements, but the other class is in chairs. And I do that class in chairs as well. That strengthens every part of the body, the arms, the core, your legs. It just depends, but you'd be surprised how limber a lot of these residents are and what they're able to do. It's really amazing to see. There's actually a news article from my old community that I worked at. The news came out and did an article on my ballet class. So yeah.
Really? And do you play ballet music while they're, oh, how neat. I might have to try that. Well, I can still bend my knees.
Yeah.
Well, Cassie, I'm sorry. Is there something exciting about to happen in your life that we would be happy to hear about?
Sure. So I am getting married on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, tomorrow, we're getting married.
Tomorrow,
Yes,
yeah.
tomorrow.
What are you doing here today?
Getting ready.
Yeah, you should have today off. Well, that's very exciting.
So happy
and
for you. Who's the lucky guy?
His name's Andy. We met here in Austin 5 years ago and we did the long distance thing in Connecticut when I had to move there. And then I was fortunate to be able to come back. So
Yeah, what's another reason to come back? Huh? Yeah.
stood the test of time, huh?
it did.
Well, that's
Is it?
And
How do
we
you
all
do a wedding during the time of the pandemic? How does that work?
So his mother is a pastor. And so she is to marry us on top of Mount Bonnell. And it's just going to be Andy and I, his mom and his dad. And then we are going to Zoom the rest of my close family. So we'll have them on Zoom to participate.
Well, I hope
That's
the
so
weather's
great.
nice up there tomorrow morning.
Now, what
I
a
hope
beautiful,
so.
What's
beautiful
Yeah.
spot for a
Is it
wedding.
in the middle of the day or when is it?
It's at 5 p.m. So it'll
Okay.
be the whatever
It's
temperature.
around
It's gonna be the
sunset.
hottest
Yeah.
it'll be.
We used to live right down the hill there. That's a beautiful spot up there, but I didn't, and I think there's been weddings up there before. I'm not sure. But
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, well, we won't crash it, but I know it'll be a beautiful wedding.
You're certainly welcome to.
Congratulations. We're
Yeah,
excited. for you.
congratulations. That's
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Very happy news.
Thank
That's
you.
great.
Yeah.
Gonna take any time off?
I am. I'm going to take the rest of this week and a little bit of the following week off.
Well, good,
Good for you.
good.
Gonna take
Good.
7
That's
whole days.
Yeah,
I am, hopefully.
good.
You'll
good.
be in cell phone distance, I imagine. Huh?
Yes, I will be in cell phone distance.
But you've got a good team of
I do.
supporting you, so.
I have a wonderful team.
Yeah,
Yes.
great.
Well, we're really happy that we had this interview with you today, and congratulations on your marriage tomorrow.
Thank you.
And now when we see you around, we'll say hi, and thanks for all you do for Westminster.
Thank you, Kathy.
Right?
Thank you.
Boy,
I
did you have-
appreciate that. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Cassie. I
much.
meant to say.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on the rest of the week. Well, this is President's Day, and Jim Woodrick is giving a presentation on renewable energy tonight on 1890. And Chuck's Chat is on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. You don't want to miss that. And then Oh, here's the one I thought I wanted to really tune into. It's plants you won't believe actually exist. That's on Thursday. They're doing that live from our balcony. Plants you believe don't really exist. I'm
That'll
joking.
be
Yeah, that's right up there with the history of the Phoenicians in
Yeah.
2
That's
easy
right.
lessons.
In 2 easy, in 45 minutes. That's right. So, at any rate, it's been fun today.
It has. It has. Cassie's a wonderful, wonderful young lady.
Well,
She
she
is.
looks younger than my great-great-granddaughter. I tell you, I'm surprised that she's ascended to such a high position. She must be extremely talented.
She is,
Well-
and Chuck really was really happy that he was able to entice her to come back, because she had a really nice community in Connecticut that she was working at and was running. But I think it wasn't just Chuck. I think it may have been Andy was part of
was
the
gonna
reason that she
say,
was
I bet
happy to
Andy
come
had
back to
something to do
Austin
with that
also.
too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
See.
the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, you guys stay warm.
Well, we've been trying.
Chuck,
Okay.
I mean, Lloyd, the first snowman I build, I'm gonna name after you.
Okay. Well, that's never happened before, but I look forward to it.
That- You
I'm
can
sure it'll be,
celebrate that.
I'm
Lloyd.
sure it'll be a handsome devil. So we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Okay.